And then I actually sold it off right after the funding secured tweet, because at that time I still did not know what is happening to this company.
Kelvin's first Tesla ride.
Yeah. Woo. Okay, I go there. Nice. Okay, so now I can get used to the reverse. It's very intuitive.
And you can see the
Very intuitive.
all
Like the
different cameras.
motorbike. I think I'm sold already.
So, so Kelvin's gonna buy a Tesla.
I can cut it off for my wife so that my wife doesn't see that.
So, but not so soon, yeah?
Yeah,
One day,
not so
one day.
soon. The high one, I'll buy the high one. This is a bit too low for me. I just don't get, I have to get used to that low kind of driving. I still prefer the high kind of driving. It's a bit too low for me. Suspension is good, very comfortable. Yeah, a bit of potholes, but it's fine. Actually, it's quite easy also, the one pedal driving. I mean, I thought it would be like a sudden shock, but it's actually quite easy. Yeah. So I don't know where we go now.
And you can see now with Tesla software version 11, there's a blind spot cameras when the turn signals are on. But some drivers will say it's counterintuitive to look the other side when you're making a turn.
Yeah. Turn here.
I can feel acceleration here. So we're driving a
It's nice.
Tesla
Very
Model
nice.
3 Performance.
Oh,
It's Kelvin's
Sorry.
first ride on the Tesla and my second ride on Tesla in KL so far.
what I like is that when it picks up, there's no like the gear changes when you drive a normal like a BMW, right? You're like
Yeah, there's no sound. It's very smooth.
A bit about the sound, it's actually very on par with you're driving a 3 Series or even my Hyundai. It's actually as quiet as that. I mean, for current ICE cars, it's already comparable. I mean, even if like current engine sounds, right, it's already very soft.
So for some Tesla drivers at higher speeds, they do notice more of the wind and road noise.
Yeah.
That's why one of the big selling points of the new refreshed Model S and X is the active noise cancellation.
We're driving around KL in the EV.
Daren, have you tried driving already?
So I'm still in driving school right now. Yeah.
Okay.
I've rode in most of the Tesla models already so far. The only one I haven't rode on is the Roadster yet. So hopefully Elon has a surprise for us when we visit Gigafactory in March, April this year, and we get to test drive ride the Cybertruck or the Roadster. I'm really looking forward to that.
It's very intuitive, really intuitive. I mean, I don't miss the dashboard, I don't miss any instruments. Because when we drive, we actually just don't need to know the speed, right? Unless you really want to see just like a change of the eyesight. But this is very cool.
So you can see all the basic stats here. You can see the visualization. Because full self-driving beta would have even more next level visualization. Which color will you get, Kelvin?
White.
Okay,
Interior will likely be black.
Okay.
Very conservative and practical, I would say.
And would you get the standard range, long range, or performance?
Likely go for the standard range as a Model 3. If I were to get a Model 3 or Model Y, I would go as everyday driver, right? I would go to the standard range. I wouldn't need the long range because I don't travel.
I think the reason why, at least in Malaysia right now, long range is more popular is because the public EV charging infrastructure is still being built out. But once it's more built out, standard range is a really good practical choice. Most of the Teslas in Singapore are the standard range model.
Because of the price difference in Malaysia, just to jump to a performance is too high.
Yeah.
So I would say maybe just a standard range first. But my heart really wants to have the Model S Plaid. So it's like I don't really have FOMO for material stuff actually, but when I see how they build the Model S Plaid,
Yes.
the FOMO kicks in.
So, as a Tesla investor, has conviction went up, went down, stayed the same?
I have been very high conviction already actually. So I think if I were at 100% before, I think now it's like 150% already. Okay, let's try to park. So how do I engage that?
You see there's a P.
You need to reverse first.
Reverse? Okay.
Press the
Start.
parking.
Release brake. So it's looking at this P, right? Do I need to monitor? I should.
Yeah.
But it's clear enough at the back. I can park better. Let's see.
For now.
For now, yeah. Nice. Not too bad. Not too bad. Still room for improvement.
So again, the car is doing all the work here.
Yeah. I'm not touching anything. I'm just monitoring just to make sure that it works.
So this, ladies and gentlemen, is Tesla Auto Park. So Kelvin, your first 10 minutes on the Tesla. Epic day to remember. Today
Yes.
is 7th of January
7th of January.
2022.
Yeah.
This is the day where Kelvin decided to buy a Tesla, yeah?
Okay.
We'll find out.
But didn't say when.
Today I've got Kelvin, who is a long-term Tesla investor. He's been on our channel before, and we met in an investing chat group. So we're going to talk today about just his perspective on investing in Tesla and also his outlook for Tesla in the future. Kelvin, what should the audience know about you?
Hi, I'm Kelvin Lew. I'm a Malaysian Tesla investor, one of many. So I'm very honored that to have the chance to speak with Daren, just to provide maybe some comments and to spread the awareness of investing and also to invest in green technology.
So you famously started a Loud Chat back in 2019 talking about Tesla. How do you first get started investing in Tesla?
I was an engineer working in Continental, where the company provides a lot of sensor systems to the advanced driver's assistance. For we have radar, we have infrared, we have cameras, and so on. So at that time, I received like a newsletter, an industry newsletter. So we get periodical newsletters about the industry, and what really intrigued me at the time was that how the mobility in the future will change towards more green technology, and also mobility is more as like a service. So then that led me to go through seeing what is available in the industry, and at the chance encounter is that Tesla wanted to purchase the radars from our company. So I had a very brief encounter with Tesla, and then I started to research more. I only started to really invest in Tesla in early 2018, a very small position just to understand the company. And then I actually sold it off right after the funding secured tweet, because at that time I still did not know what is happening to this company. And when the leader can just mouth off in Twitter, and then but I bought in just right after that again, and then I started to really understand Elon Musk. I started to read the books that people write about him and what is his whole mission, and then I slowly built it up, and then we come to today.
Elon just hit a recent Twitter milestone of 69 million followers. So definitely not a conventional company. And as Kelvin mentioned, Tesla isn't just cars, it's almost like mobility as a service, with insurance, with full self-driving, with a suite of software and services that comes along with it. One day maybe even robo-taxis.
Yes.
What do you see right now as a Tesla investor for a couple of years as their biggest strengths, their biggest opportunities?
Yes. If we talk about opportunities, my first investment thesis was the mobility as a service. So millennials or younger generation, they will not feel like owning a car outright. So they will just look at how do I get from point A to point B. So Tesla is actually positioned very well to provide this opportunity, and they will be at least, if not the leader, at least one of the leaders to provide autonomy. So if Tesla can really push through their full self-driving quickly and to bring it out to the masses, I think Tesla will definitely be the company of the century or something like that. Yeah.
So a big opportunity I'm hearing is full
Full
self-driving.
yes.
If full self-driving doesn't materialize, some people like to say that Tesla is almost like an ETF and so many other adjacent opportunities. How much would that change your view as an investor?
Okay, so for my current thesis, I actually did not really put much emphasis on full self-driving yet. The second opportunity, I think, is the energy business, where they can provide the storage to grid-scale utilities. However, that would definitely be a challenge currently, as the supplies, the battery supplies are pretty constrained nowadays. But I think they will push through it as the industry is putting a lot of money to invest and to get more efficient in producing batteries.
There are a lot of strengths that we know Tesla for. Great leader, great brand, strong demand. What are some of the biggest challenges that Tesla could face?
If immediate challenge would be the supply of the battery, the materials, I would say that's a really big challenge. Another challenge or risk that maybe some would not put it such visible is that the health of Elon Musk. I think he's really working a lot, so he should. He's still human, so he should really take care of himself also. That is the really immediate risk I see. I mean, if you are talking about, say, the competition of the other EVs, I mean, not to sound like pompous or anything, but I think the competition has a really big hill to climb to compete against what Tesla is doing now.
So one of the challenges is Elon's health and him being
Yes.
there.
The immediate risk, yeah, and also the battery supply.
Some would say when Steve Jobs left Apple, they turned out fine. Their stock price went up 15 times in the past 10 years. How do you see the situation within Apple and Tesla being same or different?
I think if Elon Musk were to have a plan to step down, I think it would be okay. But if it's a sudden stepping down, health or maybe some other situation, he wants to be an influencer or something, I think it will be a shock to the market. But I think he has already provided a very nice, a very good base, a very good culture in the company to push on with the mission. But of course, short-term volatility, we have to definitely take into account.
I want to follow up on that. Well, a lot of people do research on Tesla. We spend so much time on the financials, the products, and Elon. How's Elon's direct reports in Tesla? How's the quality of leadership there?
I can't say, yes, I'm not in the company, but from anecdotal evidence, right, from people saying, I mean, the hierarchy in the company is very flat. Everyone can directly contact Elon, email or otherwise. So I think the culture is there. They have a very fixed mission. Everyone is on the ball, right? And I think that is something that should be emulated in a lot of companies, especially companies where are filled up with so much office politics and a lot of we can say like silos. We are not sharing information among the same company. So I think that is something that should change. But in Tesla or it's the Elon Musk companies, I think he has already built a very nice, a very good culture that it should be fine in the long run.
Tesla had amazing blowout Q4 2021 deliveries. I think it beat most people's expectations. I was personally expecting maybe 270, 280. So a lot of us didn't get it right. Some of the bears like Gordon Johnson also put 280.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Q4 deliveries impacting you as an investor?
I'm a very long-term investor, so I don't really look into the quarterly deliveries, but of course that is really above expectations. I was actually targeting the annual production to be like around 800, 850,000, and that is also, I feel, may be challenging in 2021. But, they blew it out of the water, 900 plus thousand, right, deliveries. So personally, I'm really elated. I mean, on the day that they announced it, it's a bit expected since Friday they had numbers from China, but overall very positive, very positive outlook, and I'm sure that this year they will definitely again beat all expectations.
And the longer term impact of that Q4 delivery is it actually changes Tesla's run rate because 308,000 deliveries ramps up to about 1.2 million annual run rate, which is a lot higher than analysts expect, especially without both the new Gigafactories going live yet.
Yes.
So that's very significant. I'm wondering how you see Tesla stock play out in 2022.
If to be honest, because of the macroeconomic situation, I think it will have some headwinds. But as a long-term investor, we have to see that the company is definitely still growing. The short-term pressures of approvals of the factories, whether they can ramp up quickly, the supplies. I'm sure with the track record of Tesla, they can definitely solve it very fast. But whether it will reflect in its valuation or its stock price is very hard to say due to the macroeconomic situation. But I'm taking a very optimistic view. Maybe 20% plus would not be a surprise.
And again, for long-term investors, whatever the price is for holding for multiple years. Now, talk about volatility. So Tesla used to be a lot more volatile. Definitely not as volatile as crypto. Compared to crypto, Tesla is like an ETF. But compared to, let's say, an Apple or S&P 500 ETF, it's definitely very volatile. How have you seen that volatility reducing over time?
I think the volatility is reducing, but not as fast as we think. Not as fast as I feel actually, because if you can see, they are you can go 13%, 12% in a day, come down 5-6% in another day. Not everyone can stomach that, definitely. So just to answer your question, I think it is reducing as more of their plans come to fruition. So I think more institutionals will realize that Tesla is not like the other companies, and they will slowly creep towards their targets. So volatility will definitely come down, but as we see sometimes, volatility is not only a function of whether retail buyers or institutional buyers buy in, but you can also see it's like the macroeconomic situation, sometimes the derivative markets.
Yeah.
So it can really affect a lot of factors. But overall, I think it's definitely reducing.
A follow-up on this topic is Elon recently commented on Twitter on a tweet that said sometimes the market associates volatility with risk. What's your take? Is something that's more volatile necessarily more risky?
I think there is a connection. There should be a connection, as a lot of financial models do use risk and volatility as a function. So it plays into like option pricing and the pricing of interest rates and all those things.
Right now, what role does Tesla play in your overall investment portfolio? Not just stocks, but everything together.
Yeah, so my portfolio consists of, let's say, my net worth, right? So if you are just talking about Tesla, it's more than half. So I have a very big conviction that Tesla will be a core holding in my portfolio. But of course, risk management is important in everyone. So to me, I would look into other opportunities as well, right? Not to say that Tesla cannot grow, but different situations will warrant different kind of strategies. So to each his own, right? But I don't see myself reducing Tesla in the near future, as it has a lot more exciting things coming up, and it is very exciting to participate in this kind of growth.
Elon's returning to the Q4 earnings call later this month. Some expect it to be around 26 January, based on historical dates, to talk about product updates. So this opportunity potentially for Tesla investors to ask him questions again, because he may not be back again in the future as regularly. If you had a chance to ask Elon one question, what would it be?
Okay, if it's just one question, it's a bit difficult. Can I like separate a bit? Yeah, okay. So let's say on a more selfish note, I will ask, when is Tesla coming to Malaysia? So that is the first question. On a more personal note, I will ask Elon Musk to take care of himself. So that's a very important thing, I feel. But if on a more investment point of view, a more financial point of view towards the business, I would ask, what is really, if Tesla can change the law of physics, right? What would the first thing that Tesla would do?
Wow.
I'm not sure if that makes sense, but I would really like to hear what Elon Musk can say in that sense. How can he change the whole company, or how we live, if he can change one of the laws of physics?
That's very interesting, because Elon often tweets that physics is the law, everything else is recommendation. To change the laws of physics, that's basically like a magic lamp.
Yes.
Your first question to Elon was like, when would Tesla come to Malaysia? I want to hear your personal thing as a Malaysian, as a driver, understanding the landscape here. Tesla is already in Singapore as the first Southeast Asia country. It sounds like a toss-up between Thailand or Malaysia to enter next. What's your outlook on Tesla entering Malaysia from a time frame and feasibility?
Just on a more realistic note, from what I know, I would say there's a very big opportunity if Tesla were to establish, say, a presence here officially. As we, if you are talking about the BMW sales, Mercedes sales, they will definitely take a chunk out of that. So we are talking about like 15,000 vehicles annually at that price range, right? So hopefully that we are on the radar of Tesla. But knowing that, ramping up production numbers, and with demand growing so fast in the whole world, I mean, everyone wants to have Tesla in their country. I would say 3 or 4 years. I mean, to be very pessimistic, but I really hope if Elon Musk or anyone in Tesla hears this, I really hope that you can. Tesla will establish a presence here and to really take over the whole market by storm.
I agree with Kelvin's sentiment on 3 to 4 years. And for context, Tesla was originally in Singapore back in 2011, then left the country, and people thought that was it. Tesla wouldn't have come back. They eventually came back to Singapore in 2021, far later than many anticipated, but also it's kind of like magic, because a lot of people thought Tesla would never come back to Singapore again. So it's a different journey in different countries. It's common to read the news about Norway, 95% EV, UK going to full EV in 2030. I think every country in the world faces a different situation.
Yes. Based on their landscape, political landscape, economical, financial, everything. So we as investors or as Tesla enthusiasts, we definitely hope, that it will be quick. But to be realistic, well, that's what we can only hope for.
Most of us, whether we're investors, we're in day jobs, or we're building rockets, we're trying to build a better future for the world. And the better future rests on children, kids. In many countries around the world, kids go crazy about Tesla. What's your experience with the younger generation in Malaysia when it comes to Tesla?
I do teach primary school children tuition, and I also teach teenagers. So the fun part is that in the Malaysian syllabus, there is a chapter about new energies, new alternative energy. So they do have they do talk about electric vehicles and fuel cells. So surprisingly, the younger generation, they know about Tesla more than actually they know about like Hondas and Toyotas. So it was very, I mean, like eye-opening to like suddenly hear a 10-year-old say, when we are talking about this topic, right? Tesla, you know, they just jump out and say, yeah, I know Tesla. So it's really profound to see that without looking at the real product on the street, right? They know that Tesla exists in this world.
So that's really amazing and really magical and also very inspiring to me. I feel like a kid again when I'm in front of the kids. When they in Singapore and they pass by Tesla, the kids just go, "Oh, Tesla!"
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yes.
Okay, I have one last fun question. So, fun fact, when I went to Berlin 3 months ago to film the Gigafactory tour, Kelvin actually reached out and asked a few questions about the factory tour. I was a complete noob. It was my first car factory visit. So I'm planning to go to Giga Texas, and if I film a factory tour, Kelvin, what's one request you have for me to make it useful for our audience or to bring something interesting for the world?
I think what would be really interesting to see is how they built the Cybertruck.
Okay.
How they built the Cybertruck, because if what Elon Musk or Tesla said or claimed to be true is that they have an exoskeleton, is really a different manufacturing process altogether from a normal vehicle. So it will be very interesting to see how they put the Cybertruck together, how they build that body up, how they fix it to the frame, if there is a fixing, right? And yeah, I mean, Cybertruck is really something different that it would be definitely very interesting for everyone to find out.
Kelvin brings up a great point. The world has seen Model Y production in Giga Berlin, Giga Shanghai, Fremont. We get a sense of how it's being made. The Cybertruck is totally new. From what I hear right now, they have shipped some of the equipment to Giga Texas, but they are under wrap. They're not being built out yet,
Yeah.
because I think they're only ramping up in the second half or Q4 of this year. So my sense is when we visit the Gigafactory in Texas, it's mostly going to be Model Y. Hopefully you get some sneak peeks of some Cybertruck material, and I'll keep a lookout for that for Kelvin and for everyone else here. Thank you for sharing your wisdom as a long-term investor. There are many ups and downs. Kelvin mentioned the macroeconomic environment is nobody can predict short-term outcomes, and there's a saying that it's easy to be a great investor in a bull market. When the bear comes, and all of us experience, on average in our life, about maybe 5 to 10 bear markets, how we ride through the volatility impacts long-term outcomes as well. Do we sell when there's a 50% dip, like what happened to Apple stock in 2008? Or do we just hold for another 12 more months and see a full recovery again? Those are things that we have to wrestle with ourselves. If you found this video useful, click the like button. If you'd like to see more interviews like this, hit subscribe. Hopefully we'll see Kelvin again next time in his own Tesla.
Happy to be here. Bye bye.
Bye bye everyone.